Hi, Crime Junkie jurors. Today is Thursday, May 8th, 2025, and we just wrapped up day 12 of the second trial of Karen Reed. Now, we only heard from one witness today. We had Trooper Yuri Buchanan, but a lot happened, so buckle up. All right, so Buchanan starts out. He's talking about getting to Canton Police Department around 9:15. Now, here's the problem. Already starting in the story, and there's already a problem because Proctor said that he didn't get there till 10, but Buchanan said that he met Proctor there and they walked in together. So already the timeline has issues. Then he said he received John O'Keefe's phone from Sergeant Good.
We were provided Mr. John O'Keefe's cell phone, and I was also shown a brown paper bag with 6 plastic Solo cups in it, containing a what was reported to be blood in the snow.
Okay, now this is completely new information. There has been no chain of custody or any kind of track record of John O'Keefe's phone whatsoever. Carrie Roberts testified that she picked it up from the ground and she gave it to a first responder. And she said last year she doesn't know who she gave it to. She doesn't remember. Last year, Good said nothing about getting the phone. Nothing has been said. So this is brand new information. But there's a problem. Good left Fairview Road at 7:50 that morning. Now, the steps on John's phone continued until almost 8:30. So I don't see how Good could have had the phone. It looks like it's still in someone's pocket, which makes me wonder about Jen McCabe. So the time that John's phone stops recording steps is right around the time that Julie Albert arrived at 34 Fairview. And we heard that they kind of sat around the house talking about everything. And at that time on John's phone, there's no movement. But steps picked back up at 11:06, which happens to be about the time that Jen was leaving Fairview. Then there are steps again around 11:18, which is just about the time that Jen was arriving home. Now, if there are steps happening here, then Buchanan couldn't have had the phone. And Buchanan and Proctor actually go to Jen McCabe's and interview her. And there are more steps recorded while they are there. If he had gotten the phone from Good earlier that day and put it into evidence, it wouldn't be recording steps. The last steps that are recorded are right when he is at Jen McCabe's house. So that means, I think, that either Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, or Brian Albert had to have had the phone and given it to Buchanan, not Sergeant Good. And that's huge. I cannot wait to see if Alan Jackson addresses that tomorrow. Okay, next up we have Shoegate. So this was a crazy moment. So Buchanan unseals an evidence bag and he holds up John O'Keefe's right shoe, the one that he supposedly recovered from the hospital. But when Brennan asks, is this the shoe that you recovered from the hospital? Buchanan says no. And he reads the evidence bag and says, it's from 34 Fairview Road, Canton. But he's holding up the right shoe. Take a look.
At a left or a right sneaker, sir?
This is the left sneaker. Excuse me, this is the right sneaker from 34 Fairview Road, Canton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sure. If you could put the speaker back in the bag and let Mr. Brennan bring the bag over, please.
Now remember, Trooper Connor Keefe held up the left shoe yesterday and told the jury that that is the one from Fairview.
Trooper, is that the same item that you found that night?
Yes, sir.
If you could place it back in the bag, I'd ask this to be marked as an exhibit.
So I saw this and I thought, they literally don't even have their evidence labeled correctly. So the defense objects, and then Bev calls a sidebar, and then they have an extended morning recess to get their life together. They come back, and Buchanan holds up the same shoe again, but this time he tells the jury that, oh, my bad, it is from the hospital. So did he get confused, or is the evidence marked wrong? Because he literally looked at the bag twice and read it out loud when Brennan asked. So it had to be an embarrassing moment for the Commonwealth. Okay, so moving along, my next big moment. This one was really cringy. So Brennan gives Buchanan a transcript of the troopers group text thread. Now, these are the ones that have Buchanan and Trooper Proctor, former Trooper Proctor, and a couple others. So he hands this to Buchanan to read them, and it is so awkward. He's reading them without any context or letting the jury know what it is. Nobody has any idea what's going on. He's just reading these. Take a look.
Funny, I am going through his retarded client's phone.
I'd like you to read all of them, please.
Next one, no nudes so far. I hate that man. I truly hate him.
So Brennan asked him to specify who said what, but there's apparently no identifying names for each text. And Brennan basically fed these answers of questions like asking him, oh, well, did you even read all the text? And of course, Buchanan's like, no, I didn't even read all of them. I didn't even know what was going on. It was cringy. It was ridiculous. And it was, I guess, a way to show that he's not the one who actually sent the text, that it was Proctor who sent them. But the whole thing was, I bet the jury just had no idea what was going on, because if you hadn't seen those before, you wouldn't know either. It was wild. Also, he talks about the consequence of the text and what happened to him. And he says he lost 5 days of vacation time. Poor guy. Now, if you want to watch this whole exchange, be ready to cringe, but it does start around the 3-hour mark in the live stream. So when Alan Jackson began cross, Buchanan literally does everything he can to avoid answering even the easiest of questions. Like, for example, Jackson presents him with a document and is asking him about the signature on it. This is simple stuff. He won't even verify that. He pretty much basically suggests that the documents AJ presented with him may be forged. He doesn't know.
I don't know if this is truly Michael Proctor's product.
Think that might be a forgery?
I'm sorry?
You think that might be a forgery at the end of that affidavit?
Well, for one, it's not signed, so I don't know who produced this. What I'm saying to you is I don't know who produced this. The quality of the first document, the narrative, I don't know who produced it.
Okay, and then here's the most insane thing, in my opinion, that was said during all of cross. Jackson asked Buchanan if he believed the investigation was conducted with integrity, and he said yes. Then he asked if he thought Proctor handled the case with integrity, and here's what he said.
Do you think this case was handled with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor, Sergeant?
The investigation was handled with integrity by Michael Proctor.
What? Mr. I haven't found any nudes yet conducted the case with integrity? That's a wild answer. And by the way, in the papers where he was fired, it literally says that he didn't. So how is that an answer? It was wild. Now, AJ seemed far from done with cross, so I'm sure we will see a lot more tomorrow. He will be back up on the stand in the morning, and there's still so much to get into. Y'all let me know in comments. What do you think they're going to get into? What do you want to see them get into? What do you expect? And let me know what your big moments from today was. Now, this week's podcast episode is going to be big with all of the new information from this week. So make sure to check it out this weekend. That's 13th Juror Podcast. And then we will be live again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for day 13 in Karen Reed's second trial. So come watch with us, join us, chat with us, react with us, and we will see you tomorrow.